you might need to check yourself.
All right.
Romans 2:1 says, "Therefore thou art inexcusable, O man, whosoever thou art that judgest. For wherein thou judgest another, thou forgivest thyself. For thou that judgest does the same things." If I talk too fast, y'all can tell me to slow down.
Slow down.
Okay. The youth in this generation have so many things to deal with that the older saints will never understand. So when we come to church, whether it's willingly or forced, we should be able to step into the church and feel love, have someone say something to touch our souls. Instead, it's the saints that are putting us down. And so often preach, stop running from your calling, be all that God has called you to be. But as we're trying to step into that calling, it's the saints that are pushing us out in the world. And they wonder why our youth are no longer wanting to be involved in the church. You see them point your fingers and talk bad about them and wonder why they're becoming alcoholics and druggies. At Prayer Assembly, we say each one reach one. Well, maybe it's time for us to do that instead of talking about each one. Me personally, have experienced things that are difficult for me to deal with. So when I turn for the church, which is what I was taught to do, it baffles me. These so-called saints are the very ones with my name in their mouth saying, "Oh, this child is in Iowa, being wild all in the streets, doing things she knows she's not supposed to do." It's discouraging when the people you're supposed to be able to look up to is the ones that are hurting and gossiping. What hurts more is that you're supposed to be a saint of God and you're doing things that I would expect from an alcoholic atheist. Now, before I go any further, please do not think this is about me, because it's not. I'm just using myself as an example, so hopefully it gets through to you that what you're doing is pushing us out into the world. When I was younger, my mom would make steak covered in gravy and rice. I love steak. It tasted good to me. Well, one time she tricked me, and instead of using steak, she used liver. I don't like liver. I think it's nasty. If you like liver, well, just pretend like you don't today. So liver leaves a bad taste in my mouth. That's why I don't like it. So while I was eating it, I was making a weird face trying to figure out why it tastes so gross. I tasted the rice, it was fine. Tasted the gravy, it was fine. But then I pulled back the gravy off of the meat and noticed that it's not what I thought it would be.
All right.
I learned that it's hard to tell the difference between steak and gravy, steak and liver when there's gravy on it. See, there's a bunch of liver in the church dressed in gravy trying to pass the steak. The devil comes in all different shapes and sizes, which doesn't stop him from looking like a saint. Young people, you have to realize and learn how to tell the difference between the steak and liver. If someone says or does something ungodly, notice that it's just some nasty liver, put the fork in it and keep moving.
That's all right.
Realize that you don't have to eat the liver. The things that they say about you, the things that they expect you to do, you don't have to believe. Turn the negatives into positive. Let that push you even harder to succeed. I had people in the church say that I wouldn't make it in school, that I would come back home. I'm in my 3rd year, so when I walk across the stage in May, I'll bring back that college degree that I wasn't supposed to get. They'll be the ones looking down. Stay encouraged and do whatever your heart desires. Ask and you shall receive. And know that no matter what the devil throws in your face, rather in the world or in the church, that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you.